On September 5th, 2025, Netflix released the highly anticipated series Inspector Zende, which told the story of one of the most elusive criminals in the annals of crime, Charles Sobhraj, and the relentless police officer, Inspector Zende, who pursued him for years. But who exactly was Charles Sobhraj, the man the world came to know as the Bikini Killer and the Serpent? Why did he terrorize backpackers across Asia during the 1970s? And how did he evade authorities for so long? In this video, we explored the full story behind his crimes, his audacious escapes, and the legendary pursuit that eventually brought him to justice. Charles Sobhraj was born in Saigon in 1944, the son of an Indian father and a Vietnamese mother. His early life was marked by instability. His parents separated when he was very young, and he was taken to France by his mother. Growing up in a new country, far from his father, Sobhraj developed charm and cunning as a survival mechanism. From a young age, he demonstrated a remarkable ability to manipulate those around him. By his teenage years, he had already been involved in petty theft, fraud, and burglary. He quickly learned to evade authority, and these early brushes with the law taught him the importance of careful planning and deception. During these formative years, he laid the foundation for what would later become a life defined by manipulation, theft, and murder. In the late 1960s and early 1970s, thousands of Western travelers embarked on the so-called Hippie Trail, a journey from Europe to South and Southeast Asia. These young backpackers sought freedom, adventure, and spiritual exploration. Charles Sobhraj recognized an opportunity. With his good looks, French accent, and sophisticated demeanor, he gained the trust of nearly anyone he approached. He presented himself as a worldly traveler, a gem dealer, or a helpful friend. But behind his charm lay a calculating predator. He targeted young, vulnerable tourists who were far from home and often carrying cash or valuables. What began as petty thefts soon escalated into murder. Sobhraj had discovered a way to eliminate witnesses while enriching himself, making him nearly untouchable for years. Between 1972 and 1976, Charles Sobhraj is believed to have murdered at least 12 individuals, though some experts suspected the true number may have been higher, possibly exceeding 20. His victims were mostly young Western backpackers traveling along the Hippie Trail, many of them women. His methods were both meticulous and chilling. In some cases, he poisoned his victims, often using sleeping pills or laxatives before robbing or strangling them. In other cases, he killed directly by strangulation or stabbing. Some victims were found in swimsuits, which led the media to dub him the infamous Bikini Killer. Sobhraj did not always murder for financial gain. Sometimes killing became a matter of convenience, eliminating anyone who could expose his schemes or threaten his control over accomplices. His crimes left a terrifying trail across Thailand, Nepal, and India, yet he continually evaded capture. Charles Sobhraj earned another nickname, the Serpent, because of his extraordinary ability to slip through the authorities' grasp. He frequently used fake passports, changed his appearance, and traveled under multiple identities. He recruited and manipulated women to assist him in his crimes, and when they became inconvenient or threatening, he did not hesitate to eliminate them. In Thailand, after the murders of a young Dutch couple, police nearly captured him. Yet through meticulous planning and deception, he escaped to India. Wherever he went, death seemed to follow, and astonishingly, he remained at large for years. In India, authorities realized that catching Sobhraj required a determined and relentless officer. Inspector Madhukar Zende of the Bombay Police took up the task. Unlike many others, Zende understood that Sobhraj was not merely clever, but a dangerous predator whose charm and intelligence made him exceptionally difficult to apprehend. In July 1976, Zende finally arrested Sobhraj in Delhi. However, Sobhraj's reputation for escape proved justified. Using his usual cunning, he organized a party inside prison, drugged the guards, and walked free with a few accomplices. This audacious escape humiliated the authorities, but only strengthened Zende's resolve to catch him once and for all. The turning point came in 1986 when Sobhraj returned to India, this time to Goa. He was spotted at the O Coquero restaurant, and Zende was immediately alerted. For the first time in years, Sobhraj underestimated his pursuer. The police moved swiftly, and he was arrested before he could attempt another escape. This arrest was celebrated nationwide and cemented Zende's reputation as the officer who finally outsmarted the Serpent. After this arrest, Sobhraj was sentenced to prison in India, where he spent the next 2 decades continuing to court media attention and maintain his notoriety. Following nearly 20 years in Indian prisons, Sobhraj was released in 1997. He then traveled to Nepal, where he was still wanted for the murders of an American and a Canadian tourist from 1975. In 2003, Nepalese authorities arrested him once again. He was convicted of murder and sentenced to life imprisonment. Even during incarceration, he granted interviews, appeared in the media, and maintained the charisma and cunning that had helped him evade capture for so long. In December 2022, after nearly 2 decades behind bars in Nepal, Charles Sobhraj was released on health grounds and deported to France at the age of 78. Today he lives as a free man, but his infamy endures. His life of crime, the murders he committed, the victims he left behind, and the decades-long manhunt make him one of the most notorious serial killers of the 20th century. Netflix's series Inspector Zende revisited this dramatic chase, focusing on the cunning of Inspector Zende and the extraordinary efforts that finally brought Sobhraj to justice, rather than glorifying the crimes themselves. That was the incredible and chilling story of Charles Sobhraj, the Serpent, a man whose cunning, charm, and crimes shocked the world, and whose life left a trail of mystery, danger, and relentless pursuit. What did you think of the Netflix series Inspector Zende? And how do you feel about Sobhraj's life and crimes? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more true crime stories.